Waller College Planning, step-by-step guidance through the whole college admissions process. So we kind of become like the chief college planning officer in your family. And so we work directly with you guys to just, from soup to nuts, every facet of it. Our goal is to help you achieve the following: right college, right reasons, right price. Expertise, experience, personal help will yield a better outcome for your family. Okay? Here's what happens. What do parents really need? Parents, they want, what do they want? They want a happy and successful child. We found that parents look at the process with concern. Sure, they want their children to be independent, happy, and successful. We want them to go to a great college. Many are under the assumption that if their child doesn't get into what they think of as the right college, they won't be able to succeed. So finding a college can take on special meaning. We want scholarships and financial aid. Of course, what parent doesn't want their child to get lots of scholarships? As a college planner, we know every scholarship that's available. We know what SAT score it takes to get it. We know what SAT score it takes to get it. We know what GPA it takes to get it. We know what weighted average GPA it takes to get it. We know all of that stuff. And so if you're applying to a specific school, we know that there's 32 merit scholarships available for that school. Apply to as many of them as you can. You know, that's the way it works. Keep the promise. A lot of us say they might have said to their child, you do the work and we'll figure out a way to pay for it. But now reality is starting to sink in and they may be rethinking that promise. Or we may be saying, oh shoot, we'll figure out the best. And that's what that young lady who came into the office, it's kind of what I see most people do is, I knew I was supposed to plan, didn't plan, and now I find myself out of guilt signing up for a $30,000 Parent Plus loan because I feel guilty that I did not plan like I was supposed to. That's the reality, and what we say as college planners is let us help you kind of not have to do that. And we want to try to get you to pay without going broke. Again, it's not about, I help people. I have clients with 529 plans, so I help people save for college. We have 529 plans. When Cheyenne was 3 years old, we started the 529 plan. When Kylie was 3 years old, we started the 529 plan. No, I guess Cheyenne was 3 and Kylie was 1. Yeah, so whenever we started with Cheyenne, we started with Kylie as well. And so we've started 529 plans, but then we're starting to realize that, okay, we put the money in, but then now, unfortunately, tuition inflation has been just ridiculous. 7 or 8% college tuition goes up. And so it's like now we're starting to realize that while we have some resources, I don't think we have enough. So now we have to start thinking about some other strategies, okay? But mostly what parents want is help. And here are some of the things that parents want and need help with. Questions that need answers and problems that need solutions. My son's dream is to go to a private college, but we think that a public university is all we can afford. Can you tell us what scholarships and financial aid he might qualify for at private colleges? Definitely. That's what college planners do. That's what we do. My son is going to college next year. I can't afford to fund my retirement and pay college costs at the same time. Any suggestions? Yes. We have tons of different thoughts and suggestions associated with that. My daughter is a junior in high school and has 5 schools she's considering. Can you help us decide which is the best fit for her? Yes. As part of a personality assessment? Yes, we do. Which ones would give us the best financial aid package? Yes. Tell us what your SAT score, tell us what your ACT score is, tell us what your GPA is. I'll look at the colleges and we'll start to look at what they look for. My wife and I both work. We're very busy and our son is applying to 12 schools. Can you help us with the avalanche of forms and paperwork? That's what we do. We do it in such a way where once FAFSA is available, we would have all the data anyway. We hit the button, your FAFSA form is submitted. It's right up front so that you can have access to the most aid because you got your forms in right away. My son is in 6th grade and we want to start saving for college. Is our state 529 plan the best option? We can look at all the different options. There's 529 plans, there's regular investing, there's even some more efficient ways where we sometimes even consider funding a Roth IRA as a retirement thing because that asset is not counted towards EFC as long as the family identifies that the Roth IRA is going to be earmarked for education. So there's all sorts of different strategies we can think through. I have 2 children, small business owner. Which college planning strategy should I consider? We know all about that because that's near and dear to us. Our income is $250, yet we have no college savings. My son starts college in the fall. How should we be paying for college? Should we just write a check each semester? We have different strategies and approaches for that. Look at your thing. There's a couple more. I'm reading those for that.
Fred, doesn't one of you have saved up in 529s or anywhere you have? Doesn't that kind of bite you in the tail, just like the money Grandma gave you?
Great question. The 529, it doesn't bite you because you've already identified that money as going towards college, so that's okay. Putting it in the 529 plans is okay because you've dedicated that to college anyway. So that's fine. That's not gonna, it's gonna have an impact on your EFC, but the challenge is if you don't have it, it's kind of like if you save up $40,000 in a 529 plan, that might affect your EFC by like $2,000 or $3,000. So the net effect to the family is, the good news is you've saved up that much money. If you didn't have it, great, your financial aid would maybe increase $2,000, but the net effect is you're still out $38,000. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah, and so it's very important to do those 529 plans, and whatever impact it has on your financial aid is minimal compared to some other assets.
This is another, does that grow at a fair rate at 529?
Great question. Does the 529 plan rate grow? There's 2 different types of 529 plans. In the state of Pennsylvania, there's what's called the Guaranteed Savings Plan, and then there's the 529 plan, which is totally invested in the market. The stock market historically gives you about a 7 or 8% rate of return. It should keep up with the cost of inflation. Sometimes when you have a bad year, 2008, when the market's down 20, 30%, that's scary if your kid's going to college the next year.
Right.
So the other option would be what's called a guaranteed savings plan. That's what Lynette and I have. And so right now, we have, for Cheyenne, we have about 79 credits at Millersville, and it would translate to other colleges if we wanted to. With Kylie, I think we have about 54 credits saved up. And so that's to answer your question, what are 529 plan options investing in that? Okay, let's look through there. Here's what we do. Okay, let's all look at this real quick and then we'll come in for a minute. Today, a family can easily exceed $250 in college costs for one child. There are 2 different prices for college education, one for the informed buyer and one for the uninformed. Which price would you pay? Well-informed short and long-term college planning, admissions, and funding decisions at each of the many decision points along the way is how you plan for the overall best outcome and potentially save on, not just for the cost of college. Uninformed decisions, mistakes, and missteps will drive up your college costs. With our help, these vitally important questions will be answered. This is, for the most part, what we do, probably, and more than that. Will we have to pay the school sticker price? Working with a college planner, 9 times out of 10, you will not. Which schools are the best fit for my child, academically, socially, learning style, etc.? That's part of what we do. Big school, little school, rural school, city school. What schools are more appropriate so that we can get that 4-year window down? Which schools want my child to attend and would attract them with financial inducements? That's very powerful. We know what the schools are looking for. And you say, well, how do you know? Because we have the data. It's the data. It's the federal data that they have to provide, that we have that information. Are we candidates for financial aid? We can look at your financial situation and determine it. How much financial aid could we expect? Right now, this is what we can expect. If you do this, that, and the other, you can reduce that. You can increase your financial aid by reducing your EFC. Can we increase our financial aid eligibility? Yes. Ours went from 42 to 27. What merit scholarships does our child qualify for, and what are the requirements? We can tell you all about that. How can we increase the likelihood for tuition discounts? We'll talk about SAGE tuition reward points. How do we negotiate a better financial aid award? We teach you how to do that. Because what will happen is, if we get an award letter that's not consistent with what they historically do, you write an appeal letter and says, wait a minute, historically you guys meet the need at 42%. This represents 21%. Why? And this other school has given us this. Now, that doesn't mean they'll say yes, but those are the tools that we